What advice would you give people based on your own experience about how to manage the money?
Oh man, you know what? Invest in yourself. That's the number one thing. Don't go invest in stuff you don't know about, because you 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to lose it, or you're going to get scammed out of it, because whoever you invest with, they know more about it than you, and they're gonna say, well, let me just take this if you don't know what he's doing. So invest in yourself, and try to own as much as you can, and save your money. But and by saving it, it's investing in yourself. If whatever it's equipment or keeping yourself healthy or whatever, because the longer you stay in whatever business you're in, the more likely you're gonna keep making money. You're gonna keep being relevant. I look towards the future, and the future is just it's more to do, is more steps to climb and stuff. So I don't really look at what I'm doing right now. I just, every time I do something, I move on and see how could I get better, and I'm never satisfied. I think I always knew I could do better.
Always knew you could do better.
I could do better. Yeah.
Man, I wanted more than almost everybody in here. I wanted more than almost everybody in here. That's what I'm talking about. You got to stand up for yourself and be able to compete.
That's right.
And you got to put the work that it's going to take to do it. I don't know if you're going to do the same work as I'm going to do. I'm going to read up on it. I'm going to say, they're going to be like, yo, let's go to live tonight. I'll be like, I'm not going to live tonight. I got to get to the bed. Hey, yo, let's smoke some. I can't. Nah, I'm not smoking nothing with y'all right now. I got to get to the bag. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. But you have to be ready. We got the same 24 hours. You got to use your time wisely, and you have to be ready to really, really do the things other people aren't trying to do. And those are the simple things. Educating yourself. Everybody asks me, what's the number one thing you could tell anybody here? You got to start with education. One of the things that we can't really move forward right now as a people is not just of the situations that we're in. We don't even have knowledge of self.
Hello.
So when you don't have knowledge of self, from that level of educating yourself, first of all, you have to educate about yourself. So when you walking into something, I'm a king, and I come from the greatest engineers and architects and mathematicians.
Take
you
your
know
time.
What I'm saying?
Take your time, Puff.
Yeah. I'm just it's the educational part of it. We gotta get back into reading. I know it sounds simple. Let's do a chapter a night. Make yourself do a chapter a night. That's the power. The power is right here in your mind and right here. And if you're not filling this thing up, you don't stand a chance with a beast like me. You don't stand a chance. I want you to have your own. I don't want you to just work for me. I want to be a partner with you. But you got to be a beast like me. And most importantly, you have to be a beast like you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Welcome back to the Impact Secret Podcast Show. If you're new to the Impact Secret Podcast Show, welcome. Glad you are here. To my existing family, to my family, my ride or dies, thank you for joining as always. On this podcast show, we shift the mindset through personal development and business. I am your humble host, ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks, that just simply means Ed. Now, pull up to the dinner table. I got some stories to tell. You know Mr. Fist's slogan, never rest in the middle, always rest in the end. Let's get it. 3 impact secret value points I want you to get out of today's show. woodshedding, a jazz terminology. I heard this from Spike Lee. Again, woodshedding. Exceptionalism. You know, I knew I was going to have a problem with that word. Exceptionalism. Invest in yourself and invest in yourself. I got to go back to that word. Exceptionalism. You know what I mean. Basically trying to be the greatest. We're going to have some fun today, family. I'm feeling great. I'm looking great. And now it's time to make sure that you guys can be entertained. That's one thing I'm realizing now. I got to get back to the fun. And to me, in today's show really is about getting back to having fun and enjoying the process along the way. Today's show is entitled Woodshedding. Woodshedding. Again, this is a jazz terminology that I overheard, or I was part of a conversation. And when I say part, meaning listening to on YouTube, from Spike Lee when he was talking about honing his skill set. See, what he was talking about was and you know, it's so true. Before I go into the story, I think I was thinking about it when he was talking about it. I was like, wow, how many of us have done this? How many of us have thought that because we've got that degree, or we've got that work experience, or we've done something that someone else has not done, that we feel that now we have all the information, we have all the knowledge. And this is where he went in to describe the experience that he had, where he had, had success at a real quick part of his career. But what he failed to realize is that even though he was having success, there were exterior things, as far as his gas was being cut off, his lights were being cut off, because he needed to keep practicing. He needed to keep woodshedding, in a sense. And woodshedding, and, family, I'm not just going to just put a terminology out there and not educate you, family, because I feel, at the show, as I'm educating myself, I'm making sure the family is educated. According to Wikipedia, woodshedding is a term commonly used by musicians who mean rehearsing, I don't know what's going on today. We're going to work through this, though. Is a term commonly used by musicians to mean rehearsing a difficult passage repeatedly until it can be performed flawlessly. The term is used metaphorically, where woodshed means any private place to practice without being heard by anyone. This is based on the assumption that the actual woodshed will likely be in a remote location away from the main house. Here's another, this is according to the Merriam-Webster, around basically the conversation around woodshedding is just basically putting yourself in a position to practice, to hone your skill, and to grow behind closed doors, in a sense. And see, that's why I tell you, family, even with me putting out a show 5 days a week, I am practicing, just as I've stumbled here a couple times today. Now, a lot of people could look at that as a mistake. I'm excited that this is happening, because what it's allowing me to do is continue to tweak my message. I heard Lil Wayne say something that was extremely powerful. He said that, and something that I keep saying is that he said that more or less, to have this success that you want, or to achieve, and I'm paraphrasing here, is through repetition. Without repetition, you can't achieve that success. If you want to be great at something, you have to keep doing it over and over again. That's why I love Russell Brunson information, because one of the things when you go through that, he has a course which is called 30 days, and it's really affordable, in my opinion, based on the value he provides. And it's 30 days, and basically what you're doing is you're building out a sales process, as well as you're just learning the intricacies of sales and marketing. And what I loved about it is, and as you guys know, some of my origin story is how I got started on the whole podcasting thing, is he was like, you need to post daily. And even though I didn't post daily, I posted 5 days a week. Without me going through that, without me taking the time to really invest in myself and say, all right, well, let me see if this is going to work. And then I fall in love with it. I'm like, oh, this is it. So what I'm saying to you, family, is in order for you to really get to where you want to go, and wherever that is, I don't know where you want to go in life, but for me, I want to be the greatest at this. I want to be able to, and it's not great as far as I think I'm better than you. I just love I just want to compete. I love the competition aspect of it. I want to be the number one show, and the number one show in my not in my opinion is being able to serve. I want to be the number one person to be able to serve, to help people to turn their limited beliefs around, to change the direction of where they were going because of the exterior noise of what they've been told that they can't be, or how they won't be able to do that because they don't have the time, because they have a family, or because they're in debt. All of these becauses of why they won't be as great as that they can be. You know, I was listening to what Kanye was talking about, and he had said something. He was like, if he would have listened to some of the people that when he was younger of what he couldn't do, he wouldn't be where he's at, or where he plans on going. And that's what happens with us a lot of times, is that we don't take this woodshedding mentality and say, you know what? You're right, I'm not there. Just like with this podcast. And yeah, you're right, I'm not there. But let me go back. Let me keep practicing. Let me keep getting on this mic every day. I don't care if I embarrass myself or not. I don't care if you decide to listen right now, because what is going to happen is, if you make the decision to ride along with me, the journey is going to be so sweet. When you look up, you're going to say, ooh, I remember when he first got started. I remember that he kept emphasizing the importance of repetition. He kept talking about acceptalism. I don't know why. Again, we're going to keep working on this word. I think that's going to be, every time I struggle on that word, I wish I had a sound effect to really make it funny. Matter of fact, we do. So anyway, so acceptalism. Okay, we didn't get it right that time again. But what I'm saying in so many words, family, is that we have to really, you see how they laugh at me, we really have to work on improving ourselves. And through improving ourselves, we have the opportunity to grow. We have, like Diddy was talking about, or Sean Combs or Puff, he was basically saying what I've come to realize, and now I am just a huge fan of just reading, but taking that information and applying it. Start with a chapter. And the reason why I bring up exceptionalism is the fact of, I was having a conversation with my mentor, and we were talking about the Super Bowl. And then we transitioned into the NBA, and he was like, you know, what we were talking about LeBron, and he was like, what makes LeBron so great is, or any player that really has an effect on the game or changes the way the game is to be played, he was saying that how LeBron invests in himself, meaning in his physical and his physical and his mental health, and understands that, yes, this is my passion, but turning his passion into a business, not just, going to just go play basketball. And I said, well, I asked him, I said, so why do you think LeBron has changed the game? Or better yet, a better question is, why do you think LeBron is the player that he is? And he of course, being my mentor, he pushed back and he said, well, let me ask you a question. How many pictures or videos have you seen of LeBron at the clubs, or, out just basically doing destructive things to the thing that is going to make him money, meaning his body and his temple? I said, well, I may have seen maybe 2 or 3. And what he was saying was, when you read between the lines, because that's what my mentor does. He forces you to think outside of what he's saying. So what I came to was more or less that LeBron takes the time to invest in himself. So if you want to be the greatest basketball player of all time, what is going to really help you to last the duration of an NBA season and even an off season? Well, you need to find the best of the best when it comes to nutrition, the best of the best when it comes to training, the best of the best when it comes to the mental aspect too, because that is huge. And that's why for me, I this reason why I created this podcast show, it was around personal development, and entrepreneurship and marketing. But I was like, a lot of people, even including myself, I have periods where you start thinking, I don't know, or I didn't say this word right, or I didn't do this right, I didn't do this to perfection. And that's when the training kicks in, and it just really kills the false beliefs. Like, yes, you can do this. I don't know why you believe that you couldn't. You are great. And not, again, family, I don't want to come across, or I don't want it to be perceived as cockiness. I don't want it to be perceived as that I feel that I am better, because I don't. What I feel and what I know is that if I don't believe in myself, how can I get you to believe in me? And it's the same thing. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone else to love you? I think I just said something there. But the point what point I was making is that one of the things of when you look at some of the great ones, even like with Tom Brady, what are they doing that the other players are not? How are they able to be pushed into greatness like that? And I don't even want to use the word pushed. What are they doing? What are they reading? What are they investing in to make sure that they last the length of time? How are they spending their time? I think that's a better question. How are they spending their time? And a lot of times we spend our time on things that hold no value for us, or doesn't provide us a return on investment. Now, I'm not against, and I'm going to say this again, I'm not against you watching TV, or against you watching YouTube, or against you, taking idle time down. Because for me, to be honest with you, at first, I'll just keep it a buck with you. At first, I was against it. Fell into the trap. I was like, yep, I'm not watching any TV, I'm not going to any movies or anything like that. I am just going to work. And then I was like, wait a minute. But a lot of times you can be inspired by a movie you watch. You can be inspired by a video you've seen. And what I realized is that, how do I turn it more for me? So I watch a movie, I'm like, how did it work? How you to me, that's how I describe it. So what I'm saying, family, is I'm not against that. But what I am against is that you spend more time doing that, the idle stuff, where you don't have time to go and build yourself, investing yourself. That I have you money and buy books, spending money, McDonald's, or you don't know what you eat, but you could spend at least a minimum of $10 to $15, and you telling me you can't take that $10 or $15 and invest in a book that potentially can change your mindset, potentially put you in a different direction you're going. Can't do that when people get frustrated about their life, and they refuse to develop a tool that help or pull them to something different. At least the idea of today's show that either work sessions was kind of that, but we got it out, we figured it out, we worked through it. So I'm really thankful and grateful. If you can't tell, I think it's just so much excitement in my voice, because I know what I came for. I know my purpose, and I'm going to do everything in my power that I can do to get better each and every day for you, family, to deliver some content that makes you change and shift what you're doing. And then we're going to work on the sales and marketing and business aspect, because having an amazing mind is one thing, and shifting through false beliefs is one thing. But now we got to figure out, how do we get to the bag? How do we get to this money? And so that's the next step in the progression. I have been your humble host, ED. This has been another Impact Secret Podcast show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with me today. Peace.
you.